Hey guys, welcome back to Samco Painting and Decorating YouTube channel. This is going to be second part of the previous video that we done on this house on an external painting. Now we're going to do light sand and applying undercoat. After we apply undercoat, we're going to do patching and normal gapping, and I'm going to take you through all that what we are doing, so stay tuned, don't go away. And now it's time to do preparation. The first step is gonna be normal gapping. I'm gonna normal gap all the cracks, visible cracks in between the timber and FC sheets, especially at the front of the house where there's a lot of cracks and they're about 2 to 3 millimeters wide. And the owner just told me that he's got a problem with the water because of when it rains very hard, it hits that side of the house and all the water comes in between those cracks and comes down at the balcony ceiling. So we're gonna fix that with normal gapping, and that should solve the problem. I'm using normal gap from Sealy, and always make sure to use external products, in this case normal gaps, because there's an internal and external product for normal gapping, and the best way to do this is to use a right product for the right job. For cutting in, I'm using 50mm Monarch brush. This is the first time I'm using these brushes. They're a little bit more expensive than the brushes that I've used before in previous videos. The one I'm using now is like about 3 times more expensive. So I'm testing it out, trying it out right now, and so far so good. I just want to see if the one brush that I paid 3 times more than other brushes, the cheaper ones, would outlast those 3 brushes. So if that happens, I might stick with these brushes instead of using the cheap ones. For rolling the ceilings, I'm using a small roller, mouse roller. The reason why I'm using small roller is because there's no much overspray on it. There's barely any overspray, and I'm trying to do as much as possible when I'm on the roof, so I don't have to come back. So this way I'm gonna save a lot of time. Instead of going up and down, I'm just gonna go up and finish everything and come down, and that's where it's gonna be quicker. And there's not much to do anyhow with the roller, to use a big roller, and then I don't have to put the coverings on the roof area. I just have a wet rag with me, and if I drop some drops of paint, I clean them and wipe them off straight away. So, as you can see, it's not always easy to be a painter. Today we are doing eaves, and it's on level 2. The ground is all the way down. So when you do jobs like this, I always make sure to have 3 contact points when I'm working. Because one small mistake on a job like this, the consequences are very, very bad. So I always make sure to be very concentrated when I'm doing this kind of work. And the most importantly, when I do jobs like this, I'm not rushing. That's the main thing. Never rush when you do jobs on heights and off the step ladder, so you don't make any wrong movements which can cost you dearly. Concentration is very important factor. Another thing I do when I do jobs like this, I try to do as much as possible in one go, so that I don't have to go back and forward all the time. If I'm doing gapping and sanding, I'm gonna do gapping and sanding in one go. That's separate. On a windy day like this, like today, you have to be extra careful, because the wind can put you out of the balance very easily on these sides. An extension ladder is very wobbly, and the strong wind is not a really good friend when you work on the heights. For the ceiling I used 11mm nap sleeve. As usual, this is the sleeve that I use on most of my jobs, especially when I'm painting ceilings on FC sheets. And I used the medium pole for this job because it's very low, you don't need a bigger pole than a medium one, and it's easy done. This was the easy part of the job, doing this ceiling, and it's very satisfying watching it. When it comes up to this timber decking, the first thing we've done on it, we punched back all the nails that were sticking out, and they were on the way of sander. It will rip to all the paper that we put on the sander. We use belt sander from Makita. Same paper grid was 120, because this timber decking did not need any coarser sandpaper than 120, just gave it a nice sand and removed all the timber that's sort of loose after the pressure cleaning. After we done that, we applied 2 coats of oil-based natural look timber oil, which is perfect for these kind of small timber deckings, because you can reapply it every 1 or 2 years. The customer can apply it themselves. At this instance, I'm using a 80mm brush to apply the oil. The reason why I'm using brush, I want to get in between the timbers, not only the surface but in between the timbers. Normally I do first coat like this, so I can reach all the timber in between. Once I finish the first coat, I will use the roller, apply the stain, and then lay it off with the brush, which is the quickest way of doing these kind of timber deckings. This part of the job took me more time than I planned. The reason why, I've done one rookie mistake even after all these years of painting. This is a proof that we still can make mistakes, and which only proves that we are human. I should have done this red before I've done everything else. That way it will be a lot easier for me to cut in the white part than actually cutting in the red. Now it's very fiddly and I have to do it slowly. to make straight lines. So that will be for this time, for this project. As you could have seen, guys, I've done a bit of everything on this one. So it was interesting to do this job because we have different parts of the job and different ways of doing things. So from next on, I'm gonna do a little bit more explaining while I'm doing a job, so you can understand what's going on and what's happening. But still, if you're not clear with any of the parts of the job what I've done here, just leave it down below in the comments. Please, I will appreciate if you like, share and subscribe. Until next time, thank you guys. Cheers.